you what's been on my mind. Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I'm so glad you're here and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're doing something super fun. In the month of December, I'm going to be hosting a cookie exchange. Now, cookies are not my forte. I have my cranberry oatmeal cookie I make. I have my lace cookies I make. And I make several cookies, but it's not something I pride myself on is cookies. So I'm wanting to up my cookie game. So I've been researching recipes and I decided to host a cookie exchange. Now, I need to try out a few of these recipes I found to see if they're worthy to be placed in the cookie exchange. So that's what we're doing this week. Now, in the middle of these videos, there will be, I'm going to make a bread pudding. So there'll be other recipes throughout this week other than the cookies. But I did want to make like a series of cookies. So I think what I'm going to do is do episode 1, episode 2. Then we're going to stick in a bread pudding. And then I'll do episode 3 and episode 4. And we'll have 4 trial cookie recipes to try. So I'm going to gather all my ingredients. I am going to half these recipes, so I won't give you measurements in the video, but I will link in the description the recipe so you'll have the full recipe. I'm going to make a smaller batch since this is just a trial run to see what cookie I want to put in this exchange. So I've asked each lady to bring 2 cookies, 24 of each cookie, and I'm also going to let them know that if they want to add a 3rd or 4th or 5th or however many cookies they want to bring, they can, just to bring 24 of each of them, and to bring a written copy of their recipe. I'm going to have some recipe cards, so if ladies want to write down their the recipe, if they like that one particularly and they want that recipe, then they can jot down the copy of it. So, and we'll have other foods, other hors d'oeuvres, or other snacky type things to have here. And I am so excited about this. I've never done this. I don't know how to do it. If you have any tips on a cookie exchange, hosting a cookie exchange, leave them down below. And I will definitely be reading those because I've never done this before. I have wanted to for years, but I've never done it. So, all right, I'm going to gather my ingredients. I'll meet you back right here when we get ready to put a cookie together. So I know you can probably hear my oven. It is preheating to 375, I believe. Yes, 375. And my oven has a fan and it just fans all the time while it's on, so I apologize. There's a few. I love my oven. It's a gas top electric range. I absolutely love it, but there are just a few things I would do differently or I would look for differently. There is no timer or clock on there. Also, it is loud when you have the oven on. And I don't think it heats quite as hot as my other oven. So I crank it up a little bit further. But other than that, I absolutely love my stove. Absolutely love it. Okay, so we're going to get started. Let me tell you, I have always struggled making the most basic cookie recipes. And one being a chocolate chip cookie. I can make them beautifully when I use the store-bought cookie dough. They turn out perfect. But when I try to make one from scratch, they always seem to fall flat. No matter what recipe I try, it doesn't matter. They all just kind of and they go flat. They're delicious. They're absolutely delicious, but they just kind of shrink. So I was looking for a chocolate chip recipe, and they all seemed very similar. And I was like, you know, I've tried this, I've tried this, I've tried this. And I came across this one, and this one has some different type ingredients in it. So we're going to give it a try and hope my cookie recipe does not come out flat. So one of the different things it calls for is actually cake flour. Now, if you're unfamiliar with cake flour, it's enriched. And it has the flour, it has... I don't know what makes it different, because I thought maybe it had some other stuff in it. But for some reason, it's different. So it'll take somebody smarter than me to tell you what's different about it. I know it is super fine. It is super fluffy. It is more like the consistency of cornstarch, actually, than flour. But so somebody gifted me a big case of these boxes, and so I had some. So I said, let's give this a try. So we are going to use cake flour, and I'm not going to give you amounts because I am halving this recipe because I don't want to, you know, have a big batch, because these are just trials. We're trying this out for the cookie exchange. Okay, so to that, we're going to add, of course, baking powder and baking soda. We're going to add both. And here's the other odd ingredient, I think. We're adding cornstarch, actual cornstarch to it. So we're going to add that in here. And I'm just going to give this a whisk and set this aside. All right, we're just going to set that aside for a moment. I'm actually going to go get my bowl for my mixer. I forgot it. So to our mixer, we're going to add in some butter. It's hard for me not to give ingredient list. We're also going to add in some granulated sugar, white sugar. We're going to add in some brown sugar. Okay. And we're going to get that to mixing. To our butter and sugar, we're going to add 1 egg. We're going to add in some vanilla. I'm going to give the sides a quick scrape. And the bottom, I always like to go down to the bottom. Even though I have this silicone paddle, which I love, I still give everything a scrape down just to be sure we're getting everything incorporated. Clean my spatula off. Okay, now we're going to start incorporating some of the flour. Going to go in with a little bit at a time because I don't want a puff of flour. And this is super fine flour, so it will give me a good little puff. Now you don't want to wait too long because you don't want to mix your flours for super long. Going to turn it up just a little bit. All right, and real quick before I get it completely mixed together, we're going to go ahead in with our chocolate chips. All right. there we have our cookie dough, just like that. Gonna get it off the spatula. Okay, I'll meet you guys back around over here when we scoop them out. Well, now, one of the things this recipe says to do is to use a ice cream scoop. And I think my ice cream scoop is super big, but I'm gonna use it. Yeah. So if these flatten out, we're gonna have like a sheet cake cookie, just one big sheet cake cookie, because it's gonna spread out and it's all gonna be one. So, but I'm gonna do what the recipe says. I may not fill it 100% full, because my ice cream scoop is super big. Good night, that's a big cookie. Oh my goodness, okay. We're just going with it. It doesn't say to flatten it or anything. It just says scoop 2 inches apart. Man, one cookie will do you in for sure. I mean, is there different sizes of ice cream scoops? Okay, I'm only going to put 3 on this. Okay, and then I'm going to try a different size just to see how they turn out. Okay, we're going to do these great big ones on this one. I'm going to get another pan. We're going to go smaller. So yeah, I'll be right back. This is going in a 375-degree oven for about 14 to 15 minutes. We'll see. For this tray, I'm going to use my large cookie scoop. I think that may be more appropriate. I just don't know about the cook time. I have a feeling those will take longer, and these will be pretty much the 15 minutes, but we'll see. I set it for 15 minutes and we'll check. And I'm just going to scoop these out, and I'll see you back in just a second. Okay, the timer just went off. So now my ice cream scoop, they totally keep their shape. Let me tell you, the ice cream scoop ones are huge. And y'all can't hear a word I'm saying. So the timer just went off for the smaller ones. Now let me tell you, the ice cream scoop ones, they totally keep their shape. That cookie is huge. And I don't know, I haven't cracked open to see if it's done in the middle, but I think I'm going to like the smaller size better. So let's get them out and see. I think these are much more manageable. I like for them to spread just a little bit more than this. But we're going to see. So we're going to let these cool, and we'll give them a taste test in just a little bit. But the ice cream scoop ones, they are huge. They're thick. Super thick. So I'm wondering if they're done in the middle. But we'll see in just a little bit. I'll bring you back when they cool some. But hey, they definitely didn't flatten out. So we're at least in the right, we're headed in the right direction. So I'm still baking cookies, and these are going to be on future videos. But hey, we got to break into these and see. I did miss a step on this. I was supposed to let the dough chill for 30 minutes, and I did not do that. I scooped straight from the bowl. So I don't know what effect. I mean, they super held their shape. I mean, they did not flatten at all. And so if that was my goal, I have surely met it. But with it being a possibility runner for a cookie exchange, it needs to taste good and the texture needs to be good. Just for fun, let's crack open the big one. We'll see if I can get you over here where I can do it over the counter here. Okay. So, ooh. Okay, y'all. Okay. This might be a winner. I'm going to give the big one, the Mac Daddy. I don't think I'll do ice cream scoops, but hey, let's try it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Y'all. All right, let's try the smaller one. Hold on. You'll have to tune into tomorrow's video to see those cookies. And that's not even the finished product yet. Okay. So I'm going to try the smaller scooped one. These are so soft and so chewy, but they're done. I mean, this is completely done, but oh, y'all. This is hands down the best chocolate chip cookie I've ever had. Oh my goodness. All right. I can't wait for Bryant to come home and taste these. These are a shocker. Is it worth buying the cake flour? Well, I did not have to buy cake flour because I had been gifted that big case of cake flour. And I honestly cannot tell you how much cake flour is. But if you pride yourself on chocolate chip cookies, then I would by all means say it's worth it. They did not flatten. They held their shape. Part of that could be the cornstarch. They are soft. They are chewy. Oh my. It's like the perfect chocolate chip cookie. Now, if I did it again, I might take my hand and flatten them down just a little bit. But so good. Well, I have got Bryant in here ready to taste this cookie.
Hey everybody.
And I have to say, this is by far the best cookie recipe as far as chocolate chip cookies. The best one I've ever done.
Okay, all right. Got me a glass of milk.
I don't have you a glass of milk.
You know what we call that around here, don't you?
Insubordination.
Laying down on the job. Yep. Hey, you know what you call a cow laying on the ground? You know this, don't you?
Yeah.
Ground beef. Ground beef. All right, here we go. You ready? All right. Delicious. Superb.
This cookie blows my mind.
It's kind of cakey. Would you say it's kind of cakey?
No, it's just soft and chewy. I wouldn't call it cakey by any means, but it's definitely soft and chewy. And it doesn't lose any of its size. So if by chance you wanted to flatten it a little, I think that would work to flatten it a little bit. If this is too tall and like here's the big one looks like a biscuit. Mm-hmm. And definitely do not use the ice cream scoop. Definitely use your cookie scoop.
But it doesn't it doesn't flatten out.
No. So if you wanted a flatter cookie instead of one that's just flatten it out a little bit. I mean, y'all, when I say this is absolutely probably the best chocolate chip cookie I've ever made, it is by far, hands down, the best chocolate chip cookie I've ever made. They don't look that pretty, but oh my goodness, they taste amazing. And he's getting his milk.
Everybody's got to have a little milk with chocolate chip cookies.
I'm not a milk drinker.
Yep.
But so did you approve of the cookies?
Did I tell you about the milk cow that wouldn't milk?
Did you approve of the cookies?
Oh, yeah, I really did. Oh, off the chain. Excellent. Did I tell you about the cow that
He's too busy trying to tell a joke.
The cow that wouldn't milk? It was an utter failure.
It was an utter failure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But these cookies are
not.
The bomb.
They are so good.
I mean, they are just, what's this right here?
I mean, they are so soft and so chewy. They're so good. Yeah, definitely this is a keeper chocolate chip recipe for me. Even if I have to buy cake flour. I think it was worth it. I don't know what good that, I mean, like what difference that made. I really think the cornstarch made a lot of the difference, but it's good.
You're good.
He's
I
still
keep
eating.
sneaking out of frame to get another bite.
He's still eating. The cookies are over here. So, okay. Don't forget to watch tomorrow. We're going to do another cookie, and it's going to be more on the festive side. We're going to kind of, this is just a cookie for taste, and this next one is going to be taste and festive. So, we'll see if this one makes it to the final round of the cookie swap. So, okay. I will see you guys next time on the Farm and Pastor's Wife. Remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all.